Alright, hey everyone, this is Brave Sir Robin coming to you with another EB Online video. This is a 2v2 that was fought recently between Game Geek and Turkey, the aptly named Turkey is Shit. Somebody obviously had a tryptophan overdose at Thanksgiving this year. Against Tomislav and Stormrage. And Game Geek actually asked me to upload this one, so I'm doing that at his request. This is the first battle he's fought in a while, so sort of his comeback to EB Online. Anyway, he's playing as the Saka. Turkey is playing as the SPQR, the Romans. Tomislav is playing as the Ptolemioi, and Stormrage playing as Pontos. Just a quick overview of the army compositions. Game Geek's gone with a pretty standard Saka army. He has 4 units of Asabarai, the Saka Riders, light horse archers that are competent in melee. A unit of the Saka Late Cataphracts, which are the bodyguard unit, and a unit of the Saka Bodyguard Cavalry, which are that Cataphract unit. A little counterintuitive, but that's how it is. 1 unit of elite foot infantry, the Agama Hellenikon, the Indo-Greek Royal Guards, who are basically the equivalent of Hephaestustai. 5 units, I want to say, or I'm sorry, 6 units of the Saka Heavy Hoplites, the Hoptitai Hellenikon. 3 units of Peltastai Indo-Hellenikoi, and 4 units of Indus Patisiota, the Indian Longbowmen, who are, in addition to being pretty decent archers with very good range, they are also competent in melee. The Roman force has gone very legion heavy. I believe he has 8 units of Cohors Imperatoria, which is your standard Imperial Legionary cohort. He's taken 2 units of the Prima Cohors Imperatoria, the Imperial Force first cohort, to give the extra morale boost to his lines. As a range component of his army, he's taken 2 Qualim Numidian slingers, who are really not that great, but you know they do a little bit of damage, as well as 2 units of Yosatai, who I think are slightly superior. He also has 3 units of Cohors Waladim Auxiliarium, the Western Imperial Auxiliary Infantry. And his cavalry contingent is pretty elite for a Roman army, actually. Besides his Equites Singulares, he also has 2 units of Equites Praetoriani, which are a very expensive heavy cavalry unit. They're a heavy skirmisher cavalry unit, in fact. But they are among the best cavalry units in the game once melee begins. Out here, Tomislav, he's a newer player. You can see, sort of, probably forgot these guys. Peltastai out here. We have, I want to say, there's 2 units of Toxotai on either end. His unit of Mstaphoroi Toxotai Kretikoi, sorry, Grecian archers, and a unit of Akontistai in the front, Suka missiles. He has taken 1 unit of the Clericon Agama, the elite Phalangite unit, as well as 4 units of Pesatairoi, the medium phalanx unit. He has a unit of Optitai Troglodyticus. I think he might actually have 2 of those. Yep. Red Sea Hoplites. 2 units of Eudioi Taxais, the Jewish spearmen. 1 unit of the Galatikoi Clericoi, Galatian heavy swordsmen, as well as 1 unit of Basilicon Agama, the Ptolemaic Royal Guard. For a cavalry contingent, he's gone with 2 units of Ethiopikoi Hibeis, the Ethiopian cavalry, 1 unit of Agama Clericon Hibeon, and the Somatophilakis Strategou. Stormrage, meanwhile, who is sort of rushing out here, has gone with 4 Thorophoroi, 4 Galatikoi Korophoroi, Kuvashanage Shavar, 3 units of Therophorontes Toxotai, the Bosphorus heavy archers. One of the better archery units in game. 2 units of Spendonatai, 2 units of Scuda Fisteg Fat Axidestai. He's gone with an assault component of Ptolemioi, Rumph, that's a really hard word to say, Rumpforoi, and a unit of Galacticoi Tindonatai, the naked Galatians. And in addition, he has 2 units of Scuda Usadetai, a pretty standard sight in Pontic armies, to be honest with you. So what happens here is that starts off, GameGeek sort of makes a mistake here with this angling. He loses a lot of infantry here. The second heavy hoplite unit gets hit pretty hard by Acantistai all units, as well as some of the archery units that exposed its back to. I'm not really sure what his plan was, but he loses about a third of that unit, before they even get engaged in melee. They're forming some sort of defensive wedge. I'm not really sure what the point of this was, what they were trying to achieve. He has his skirmishers out here, but they're firing at the Therophorontes. They're not really going to kill so many of them with that. And eventually the Bosphorus will start firing at them and kill a lot of the Peltasts and use a smaller shield. Over here, you can sort of see some of the maneuvering taking place. Sort of a slow developing match at first, a lot of skirmishing, so I'm probably just going to fast forward to part of this. Okay, so the first engagement, he comes here with the GameGeek charging in his Peltas and his elite Royal Guard unit against some advancing Red Sea hoplites, as well as just some Acantistai who are getting in the way here. You see the Acantistai break rather quickly. And over here, these Spendonatai get charged by the depleted second heavy hoplite unit. And they're going to break rather quickly too. Really, what happens here, this unit of Peltas get really slaughtered by a combination of infantry, archers, and cavalry. But it looks like GameGeek and Stormrage are both pretty slow to react here, and Tomislav and Turkey are basically having a stare-off, which you'd expect from somebody who is in tryptophan-induced coma. However, Tomislav really needs to get these phalanxes involved here, and they're not really doing much good at this point. If he was able to advance them, maybe thin them out to cover a wider range, and advance against these first few legionary units, that would force the Roman player into some action. And if he didn't react quickly enough, he could probably sneak a few units around here and get on the flanks. Anyway, he also seems to over-rely on guard mode. Really shouldn't use guard mode that much in EB. We've tried to account for this, that it used to be overpowered. These Bezel Khan Agama are facing up against another elite infantry unit in guard mode, and it's probably not going to go well for them. They have that, they have a secondary weapon, they should probably be using it. Anyway, Stormrage does manage to get a couple good charges here. He gets in a good charge on that elite unit. And Tomislav manages to bring his cavalry around and get a good charge against this heavy hoplite unit to break it. So now this is where the majority of the battle is going to happen. Turkey does manage to get his infantry unit in here to protect the flanks, which are now badly exposed. They were winning at one point, but now they're no longer because of that cavalry charge. Now again, not really much happens here. GameGeek is sending his archers around the side, and they're firing at a couple targets. I think he ends up firing a lot on the Galatian heavy swordsmen, does a decent amount of damage to them. But Stormrage does use his Scythian archers to decently hold them off for some time. Again, there's really not much. It's a very slow developing battle. There's really just a big scrum here, which basically doesn't really help or hurt either team. They basically throw a similar amount of forces in and lose a similar amount. If anything, I think that the the team of Storm and Tomislav lose a little bit more because they contribute 2 elite infantry into this battle, while as only Game Geek has 1 elite in there. But one of the bigger mistakes here, I think, is that Tomislav loses a lot of Ethiopian cavalry trying to chase after these Saka riders. This is not going to work very well. He really should have relied on Storm to provide some sort of arrow shield, and I think he also has his Cretians here. He really should have been using them to just sort of wall off and protect against them. He's just going to lose a lot of Ethiopian cavalry, but relatively light cavalry to these Saka. And you can see the slingers are firing on them as well. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit more because really still nothing happening here. Alright, finally we have some moves being made over here. These involve the cataphracts. They're actually going to charge on the invasion, but it's not really their intended target. I believe they're trying to hit the Scythian noble cavalry. Over here, these Galatians also get in the way of this cataphract unit. You can see sort of some of the problems being had over here. The Praetorians are not really being that helpful. With the Praetorians and the cataphract unit, they could probably easily overwhelm the 2 units of Scythian noble cavalry and really come crashing down the line. But this is, as you can see, players haven't played in a while, and they're a little hesitant at first. Here you have these Bosphorans. They're firing, I'm not really sure who they're firing at. They're firing at this cataphract unit. That's not a good choice by Stormrage. Really, he's in a perfect position here to fire on the rear of this unit. He could break this elite unit here, or he could fire at the legionary cohort from the back. He could really destroy this line really quickly with those units of Bosphorans. Perfect angle. Instead he's firing at a cataphract unit, which is pretty pointless. You're not going to kill more than 7 or 8 with the arrows, and really, I mean, it's pointless. You should even be firing at the Indian longbow and be a better usage. Anyway, we still have sort of a standoff here. Alright, Stormrage finally makes a move here with his Bosphorus heavy archers. I believe they ran out of ammo, so he's running them around the flank. And he's going to try to maneuver around this infantry line here. Game Geek does a good job of getting his hoplites in good position just to form a guard mode shield wall here and protect the flanks. Because his infantry is they're superior to thoroughfry in combat. They're not nearly as mobile or useful in my opinion because of lack of javelins, but they won't stand up to Galatian heavy spearmen, that's for sure. Anyway, he does manage to get these guys in good position, killing off these longbowmen. Galatians are a very good unit to choose for that. Their spears and swords are both very effective against the lightly armored longbowmen, and they themselves have large shields. And here, Stormrage gets in a really good charge with 3 units of heavy cavalry against the rear of all these longbowmen here. It's the devastating effect that has that routs one of them. It really weakens this scrum over here, which is still sort of undecided. This is one of the stranger battles I've seen in a while, actually. Game Geek gets in a charge on this cavalry, which really actually hurts Stormrage. But I think it was worth it just to get those kills. And then he gets in a charge over here against these hoplites. And I believe that's going to break them after a moment. He also gets these Galatians in over here, and it's going to start sparking a mass rout. But again, Game Geek does get in a charge here. I don't think it's a very good charge, but does manage to kill a little bit of Stormrage's cavalry now. But eventually, those guys are going to break, and I think the arrival of Ptolemioi cavalry. Nope, he could have really gotten a really good charge in on those Saka cataphracts. He might have broken them. And that really might have been game over right there, but he decided to pull out. I'm not really sure why. Anyway, it looks like it's going really well for the Pontic player has gotten behind the line of the Saka player. The Roman player is able to use his cavalry here and help them out, but these Saka units are breaking rather rapidly. This Praetorian units getting ground down by the Ptolemaic elite cavalry. And it's not looking good for the Roman and Saka players. The red team, as we'll call them. Here's another example. I think he should just engage these cataphracts. He's got them winded. He could probably just swarm around them and kill them all. And instead he's just sort of fighting them in melee, not even really fighting them. I think he was just lining up for a charge. And here the Ptolemaic cavalry is getting slaughtered because the entire Roman cavalry is coming over to help them. Now the arrival of the Saka riders sort of turns this battle over here. I believe the Ptolemaic player was winning with the help of Stormrage infantry coming on both sides, but the Saka cavalry is able to sort of stem the tide there. This is just chaos in the back. It's hard to really describe, in fact. The one problem I think he has is that a lot of this infantry is sort of low morale. Not the Rough I know, but the Bosphorus archers are. Again, we have some charges over here. It's really hard to sort of commentate on this battle because I don't think there were really many tactics involved. It was just sort of people throwing units into one another. Obviously, Storm at the flank, they did a pretty good job of that. But once that happened, once that was over, it's just sort of pick a unit, toss it into the nearest melee, and so on and so forth. This is completely broken down. I don't even know what's going on over here anymore. Their Roman units made it over here somehow. I'm not really sure when or how. The Roman cavalry is coming here for a pretty good charge. Ptolemaic cavalry follows them in, kills a bunch of them. But that Roman cavalry is really tough in melee. It's hard to kill. The same goes for the cataphracts, obviously. The cataphracts are difficult to kill. And I think that's sort of the downfall of the Pontos player, who looks like he has a really firm control. And again, still these phalanxes have not engaged. They're just sitting there. If you could just move these forward and engage these legionaries and grind them down, he's got, what, 5 units of phalanx against 3 units of legionary? You could really grind them down, really, to almost nothing. And instead he's just sitting there. That's pretty much a complete and utter waste of a lot of money. Probably 10,000 an eye right there. Almost a third of his army. Eventually, you start to see some of these units routing. The Bezla, Kanagama. These units are caught in the middle here against the well-rested Roman infantry, which has swung around, and they're losing their support rather quickly. These legionaries are still holding out here, holding out some of the Roman infantry. The Saka cataphracts are coming in for a charge. They're going to hit these Stormrage pretty hard. And these guys are going to come in for an even bigger charge. And right in the middle there. And I think that might be... Well, I routed some of them. I didn't rout all of them. They're still fighting. We still have Galatian Tindanatai in there. There's Thracian elite infantry. There's some Bosphorus infantry with long swords in there. But you can see they're getting ground down. The cavalry charges aren't helping matters. And these Saka riders are really actually useful. They kill a lot of the cavalry just charging in from behind. You can see the Roman player with all that mobile infantry he had in reserve is really starting to grind down the Pontic player. The Pontic player, I don't know what they're doing. There the Saka general is killed. And again, all this infantry just standing around. I'm not really sure what they're doing. They need to be helping out over here. And I thought when the Saka general died that would pretty much be the end of the battle. I thought that would spark a chain rout, but it doesn't. In fact, this Pontic unit breaks. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see a chain rout in just a second. With all this infantry, you can see they're sort of jammed in here. This is complete chaos. There are no lines anymore. I don't even know what's going on. There's Saka units, Pontic units, Ptolemaic units, and then you start to see some of the Pontic infantry break. The Ptolemaic unit breaks. And here comes in the Roman cavalry, and I think a pretty decisive charge here. Yep. All the Ptolemaic unit breaks. The last Ponic unit fighting as the Galatians. There's only 13 of them left, and they're going to break in just a second. And the Ponic general as well as the Ptolemy general are both sort of caught in the melee over here. Javelins flying on. I don't know where these javelins are coming from. Apparently there's still skirmishers with ammo left, amazingly enough. Oh yeah, you can see. There goes the Ponic general. And there goes the Ptolemic general back to back. Really quick succession. This last little blob of Ponic infantry over here is pretty strong. But now they've lost all cavalry support, so they're going to die once the cavalry get involved. There's still a lot of Roman infantry, even though some of it's slingers. Just weight of numbers at this point. And finally, the phalanxes get involved, but far too little, far too late. You can see the effect they're having, killing off these Romans. If you'd done this 5-6 minutes earlier, this might be a different story, but he did not. And the Ptolemaic infantry is starting to work their way around on this side, but we still have a first cohort in reserve, keeping the morale firm. And from here, you can see the Roman infantry is blobbing. These units are routing, and the cavalry is coming in for the decisive final charge against these Galatians, who are brave, but they won't stand forever. And again, you can see they break. And that leads the Ponic player Stormrage to admit defeat, and really from there it's just some mopping up of the Ptolemaic players. Really, this wasn't really the finest fought battle on either side. I think Stormrage played relatively well. I think that Tomislav is new, so he's going to be a little hesitant. He doesn't really know the units that well. He didn't really use his phalanxes aggressively enough. If he was able to use them a little more decisively, I think the battle definitely would have turned in the favor of Tomislav and Stormrage. But it's a learning experience. Phalanxes are very difficult to use even for experienced players, and so this really leads to what you see here. Again, this was from Genghis' perspective. Indian longbowmen had a lot of kills. Probably a lot of those were on fleeing units that were cut down. But really no other unit stands out besides those. The Saka Riders did pretty well, I think, crashing in towards the end, probably racking up a lot of kills. But yeah, it was a close battle. Wasn't really the easiest battle to commentate on because it was so chaotic towards the end, and it didn't really look like there was that much strategy involved. But yeah, it looked like a fun battle, and it's good to see that the network's heating back up again. Hopefully we'll get some more battles coming up soon. Alright, thanks everyone for watching.